I've always liked to draw, ever since I was a kid. Um, and I guess it was a way to entertain myself too. I guess, some people are really drawn to sports. I liked sports and stuff when I was a kid too, but I always, got the most satisfaction out of either like, making something or just drawing something, trying to like, replicate something in two-dimensional form with a pencil the best I could, and kind of always just trying to get better and like kind of feeling, I don't know, there's kind of a good feeling of accomplishment when you draw something better than you've ever drawn it before. I guess it's kind of like, yeah, like I didn't know I could do that, but you kind of did it, and then it gives you like, I don't know, it kind of helps you keep on going, and then there's always something else more difficult out there to draw, and then there's all these ideas of style that kind of come into it at some point, and it's just kind of it's something that never has an answer. It's a puzzle that never really has an answer. It's always kind of uh, something that just it will never be resolved, and so just a kind of a continual search, I guess, maybe. The idea of like what's the value of art, and what's the value of what I do, because I mean, in some, I guess I kind of recognize in some ways that there is a sort of uselessness to art, and I find art to be inspiring, and so it's kind of it's a sort of like it's a goal of mine to make inspiring art. A lot of my stuff has humor, so like I'll have like an idea of like an inspired individual, but he'll be like this tiny little like half-inch guy, and he's kind of like looking up at at the world or something. So there's maybe a little bit of tongue-in-cheekness there, or something, but I don't know. At the same time, like I guess maybe it kind of um, throws a wrench in what I'm doing a little bit. There's something like in art that's I think art in some ways, like in its purest form, is kind of seen as like decorating a pot or something. It's kind of like it's kind of distinguishing this pot from a set of other pots kind of through one's uniqueness, or kind of like one's hand, and kind of just kind of making it special. Back a couple of years ago, maybe some of the stuff that I do now kind of started from this collection of United Nations memorabilia that I kind of started collecting, mostly getting the stuff through like eBay and stuff, because it's, St. Louis is not known for having a lot of this type of stuff just lying around in garage sales. So I don't know. I guess I like the kind of optimistic, like highly idealistic kind of nature of the stuff. Most of the stuff is just kind of a collection. Mostly just for kind of my own inspirational purposes, maybe. It was kind of like, you know, I think one of the best things that I have, or one of the things that first started me off is this, I think it was a cookbook, like with all these United Nations, or recipes from compiled by the wives of different UN representatives that were, it had different, recipes, from Brazil, from wherever, from all over. And I don't know, there was just something that I liked about that idea that maybe a dinner party could in some way bring people together. When I find things that embody kind of like a certain idea or feeling, or has like just like a certain feeling of what I'm interested in, then like I kind of get that object and kind of just examine it, like why does it have that kind of feeling, or whatever, and then I kind of so kind of break it down and kind of use it for what it does, I guess, or what kind of meaning it conveys. And